My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, you know, the work ethic. I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of.
Hello, everyone. What's up, Las Vegas? Man, International Fight Week is always the best time of the year for us. We appreciate all of you coming out. We have an amazing Q&A for you today. Just a reminder, there are microphones in different sections. So media, I believe you have 3 microphones. So if you want to start lining up, the fan sections have one on each side of the arena. So if you have questions for any of our great athletes today, make sure you line up. I can't promise we'll get to them all, but we will do our very best. Just a reminder, please don't ask for tickets or autographs or pictures. Hopefully, the athletes will be able to hang out after this Q&A and maybe we'll be able to get, excuse me, some of that done for you. But you came here to hear from this amazing panel today. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce our first guest today because he is now officially a UFC Hall of Famer. He was inducted last night. The UFC's first ever lightweight champion, Jens Pulver. Welcome, Little Evil. All right, well, someone he actually faced in the WC. He was the champion, the creator of Team Alpha Male. The California Kid is here. Please give it up for Uriah Faber. Sporting a tremendous beard, the former light heavyweight champion who is now killing it in the coaching game. I am sure we will see him inducted into this UFC Hall of Fame sooner rather than later. It's Glover Teixeira. All right, a mentor to Glover, a UFC Hall of Famer, the former UFC light heavyweight champion, one of the most recognizable faces in the sport, the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. And last but not least, the former welterweight champion and one of the most talented 170-pounders in the entire world, a future Hall of Famer for sure, the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman. Guys, this is amazing. Thank you all for joining us today. It feels like, you know, every July we get together for International Fight Week, and there's just something special about it. Glover, I mean, when you have the opportunity to interact with fans like that and see great fights all in the same week, what's it like for you guys to participate?
Oh, it's amazing. You know, I'm blessed to be here, and I'll be here and with all those guys over here, seeing Chuck. All the time I was on the other side, you know, seeing Chuck doing all the interview and be able to be here with him, it's incredible.
It really is. And last night we saw Jens Pulver enter the UFC Hall of Fame. Jens, you gave an incredible speech. Long overdue, but it finally happened. Are you still on cloud 9?
Yeah, no, yeah. This is so cool. Like I said, I love and appreciate each and every one of you. This is surreal. I'm stuck. You know, you don't want it to end. You know it's going to, so I'm just trying to slow it down and embrace every single minute of it. But, man, I love y'all. This is cool, real cool. So I appreciate y'all.
So happy to see you enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Reminder, if you guys have questions, media, there are 2 microphones here, one in the back as well. I think Jose Youngs, is that you waving at me that you have a mic? And then fans, if you want to start lining up to ask questions. If we have media questions, we can start over there. Go ahead.
Question for Kamaru, former champ in the back. Just quick update on your career. Like, where are you at? A lot of people thought you might fight Hamza in Abu Dhabi. Dana White didn't really seem interested in the catchweight. So just, is there an update on where you at in your career?
I'm good. I'm just training, falling back into love with my routine of training. I mean, the last couple of years was just kind of chaotic, you know, here and there, but falling in love with that routine again. But just like you, I thought I was going to be fighting Hamza too. So, we'll see what happens.
Was there any reason why that fight didn't happen? Because it seems like it was only a matter of time before that was going to be announced.
I mean, there's a lot of logistical things, not necessarily on my end, of why it didn't happen. Like I said, I'm up here. I'm looking good, feeling good. I'm ready to fight.
And obviously, Dana has made it known that he wants Colby Covington to now fight Leon Edwards for the welterweight title. So I'm curious, what do you make of that fight, and how do you think it plays out?
It's a good fight. I think both guys are very talented. Both guys present different challenges. So, I've whipped both of them at least once or twice. So, we'll see who wins that.
Question for Chuck Liddell and Glover Teixeira. I just want to know your thoughts on Alex is moving up to light heavyweight. Obviously, he's going to fight later this month against Jan Blachowicz. So I'm curious, what do you think fans can expect to see from him at 205 pounds?
I'll defer to Glover, but yeah, he's a big boy, man. That's a tough cut for him. I was shocked he made it. He's got, man, he can cut. He can cut weight, man.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's going up because, all the way cut eventually gets to you, And, he's a pain in the ass, like Adesanya say. For anybody that fight that guy, he hits like a truck, man. Especially now, 30 pounds heavier, it's going to be good.
Yeah, when I first met him, I'm like, this guy's a 185 pounder. He's a big boy.
When he would tell us how much weight he was cutting during our fighter meetings just 2 days before weigh-ins, it was incredible to see that he made weight every time. I mean, we would sometimes be like, how's he going to do it? And he still did. So it would be so interesting to see what he looks like moving up. Great question there. Do we have any more from the media? Yep, go ahead.
First one for Kamaru Usman, please. This week, John Jones and Israel Adesanya looked to squash their beef. I'm curious your thoughts on that and if you'd seen any of their posts online.
I think it's great. I mean, they're guys that I love. I love to watch them. I love to, be around them. I've spent time with both. I've known both for an extended period of time. So that's good. I mean, that's just what this sport needs. I mean, don't get me wrong. When we step inside that octagon, our job is to put hands on each other. And it needs to stay there. That's what defines us as competitors and real men. We get in there, we settle our beef inside that octagon, we walk out safe and sound. So I'm very, very happy to see that. I still love to see the fight, though.
That'd be nice.
And of course, Robbie Lawler will be fighting for the last time this weekend at UFC 290. I just wanted to ask everybody on the panel their thoughts on Robbie Lawler and his impact in the UFC and then in the sport. But if I could start with Jens first.
Yeah, that's the Bob, man. I love him to death. I've known him since he was 17 years old. And it's just incredible, just his career. Yeah, I always laugh about this. He was my roommate. And he used to always wake me up in the middle of the night. We'd sit there and play the football seasons. We didn't play against each other because he'd destroy me, so we'd have to play our seasons. And we'd meet up in the Super Bowl or something. And he'd wake me up in the middle of the night. It's your turn. I'm like, Bob, really? It's your turn. I'm like, all right, so I had to go play my game so he can come back. And it was just a lot of fun to train with him day in and day out. We were big fans of boxing, always studying movements, always, just working on that stuff constantly. And just to see his career, it's unbelievable. I love him like a little brother. And, it's surreal that he's got one fight left. Like, it's just, I remember like it was yesterday when he started. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Lawler, what a legend. I mean, I remember being in the nosebleeds, watching him fight in the early days of UFC, and I was, kind of late to the sport. I graduated college first, and watching him go all the way through his career and now continue to fight and be relevant and be dangerous and be scary, it just says a lot about him as an individual, and I can't wait to watch him fight tomorrow. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. He's one of the toughest guys out there. Old school, go out there and leave everything he got in an octagon. It's amazing to see him fight again, and last time too, because I love Rob Lawler, man. He been in some brawls.
Yeah, man, I can't say much about enough about how much watching him fight, man. He can take a beating, give a beating, keep coming. You think they got him, and he keeps coming back. So he's a tough guy, fun to watch, always exciting.
Yeah, Robbie's the definition of what it is to be just a fighter. You know, he's not necessarily the trash talker or this and that, but you know what you're going to get from Robbie Lawler every time he steps into that octagon. And I think the UFC and the world of MMA is going to miss him very much.
It's very true.
And if I could also get a prediction of how you guys think the main event is going to go down between Alex and Yair.
I have no prediction. I think that's a wild fight right there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that also. Volkanovski, I mean, he's just built for combat and built for being a grinder. And Yair, I watched a highlight the other day of all the tricks he does. I mean, talk about a magician in there. That guy is an artist, like a real artist. And at any point, he could catch somebody slipping on the button. So it's a coin toss for me. If I go with gut instincts, I think Volkanovski may grind it out. But if it's a finish, I think it's Yair.
A strong contingent from Mexico in the building today.
Last question, please, for Glover. GSP announced that he's making his return. He's going to be competing at the UFC Fight Pass Invitational. Of course, you recently fought there too. Just wanted your thoughts on how you think he will do and who you would like to see him up against.
Yeah, I love the event. By the way, it was I love the rules. You know, it's gonna make more excited and see GSP back. It's gonna be amazing. I was just talking with the guy back over there, and I'd love to see him against Gilbert Durinho. That'll be a nice match to come back. You know, Gilbert Durinho.
All right, let's go down to this microphone.
Question for Chuck. It's the 30th anniversary for UFC. You've been around this organization since its inception. How has MMA changed as a business for the better for you, and what do you think it needs to go back to?
Well, I would say change for the better. I mean, it just got more exposure. We got more events, more chances to fight, more people involved. You know, sport's been growing. You know, it started out we were fighting to get I think it first started fighting. It was a home run was making $50,000 a fight. You know, the top guys were making that. I mean, that wasn't much. Maybe a little more, but I think the first UFC contract I was offered was 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. We're talking $12,000 a year if I win all 3 fights. I turned it down. Dana was my manager at the time. Turned it down, but anyway, it's come a long way as far as guys opportunities for people, training, way guys train, sports, and it goes up and down ways. And I think right now it's great. I mean, I think the guys were playing that too safe for a while, but I think guys like it started. I mean, they stopped doing that after a while. It seems like most guys are out there fighting, trying to win. So it's been exciting, and I think it's in a great place right now.
Final question, actually, for Jens and Uriah. You fought really hard to keep the lighter divisions active in UFC. Looking back and where the division is now, was it worth it for you?
Absolutely. And going back to nostalgia, I remember being at the Mandalay Bay and seeing this guy getting mobbed for a big UFC event. It was actually Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz. And I was staying in Randy Couture's room. I didn't really know him, but he was nice and kind enough to, just open his door to myself and a couple friends. And I remember watching Jens, and I remember seeing Chuck and Tito, and just to look back on the whole thing and know that we all had a part in it is really awesome. And it wasn't a thoughtful process. It was about just following our passions and believing in the sport. And thank goodness for great leadership with the company to bring it where it is today. So, yeah, it was definitely worth it for me.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was creating the 155-pound division. You know, that's kind of where I got in the Hall of Fame. I'm the godfather. I had to go out there and fight at 170. I had to fight heavy. I had no weight class there for a while, no time limit. But I love it. I love seeing that, just the way that the 155-pound division to me is That's the one. You know, I love it. The size of it, the way that it's growing, 145, 135, 125. I remember fighting, and the one thought in my mind was I never wanted to see anybody to say they were too small to be a fighter. And that was something I set out to do. Like, you're going to have to gain weight. You're going to have to fight at 170. I said, no, I'll just keep blasting people, and we'll create 155 pounds. And once we did that, when we got to WEC and 45 and 35 and 25, it's like, okay, now I can drop down to my original weight. And that's when me and Uriah met, you know what I mean, and had the big clash the first time. And, you know, I'm proud. I'm proud to see this sport grow, but I love the little guys because it's just, that's where we're from. So, like I said, I'm a big fan, 155, love being the godfather, and just glad what we created.
Should both be very proud for those roles. Mike?
For Glover, you mentioned a little bit about your grappling match recently. Just wondering if you have more plans for that lined up, or if that maybe caused a bit of an itch to return to more competition. What do you have plans for the future?
Man, I'm just having fun, you know. I'm just here. They call me to go grapple, I grapple anybody, you know. They pay us right, I go over there and I grapple John Jones or Raya Faber, whoever, you know. It's just fun over there, you know. I don't have that. I'm enjoying this time, you know. I love it.
And then for Kamaru, Gilbert Burns said at a recent media day that you were back training with him a bit at Killcliff. Just wondering kind of what your status is right now. Are you back at that gym more full-time now? Are you still splitting time in Colorado? What's going on?
Everybody want to yell that. No, it's never been. I mean, it's called Killcliff now. Before that, it was called Sanford. Before that, it was called HK3. At the end of the day, it's Henry Hooft. And I've always trained with Henry Hoof. Henry Hoof has been my first stand-up coach ever. You know, me and him have always been on great terms. I still train with Trevor Whitman. Trevor is a mastermind. And it's kind of like having the best of both worlds. Obviously, my daughter lives in Florida, and I have a house in Florida, which I spend most of my time. But, you know, when I start to kind of button things down, it's always a good change to be able to just have that private time up there with Trevor Whitman. So I have the best of both worlds. I got two masterminds in my corner.
And if this fight with Hamzat doesn't materialize, is there any other attractive matchups out there for you right now that you think make sense?
I'm sure they'll think of something. I mean, hey, it's a fight. Me getting in there to fight, I mean, it'll make sense. Me stepping in there if Conor wants to, he always said he wanted to fight me at 170. Hey, that makes sense. You know, I'm not the champ anymore, so, hey, let's do it.
All right, let's go up here.
This one's for Chuck Liddell and Jens Pulver. And by the way, congratulations, Jens Pulver, on finally getting your long overdue addition to the Hall of Fame. So my question for Chuck Liddell and Jens Pulver, the introduction to the UFC to Las Vegas and the reintroduction to the UFC to pay-per-view happened. Both of you guys fought on this card, UFC 33 victory in Vegas. 22 years later, did you even fathom that the sport would be the biggest sport it is today, and that you guys set the stones and the building blocks to build the sport to what it is today?
Well, I always thought it would get here, but I thought it'd take a lot longer. I mean, I think the explosion from having the reality show, really, on Ultimate Fighter, really, we blew up a lot faster. I mean, we went from me being able to walk into a room and go, yeah, that guy probably knows who I am, and that guy, to me walking down a mall and a 56-year-old lady going, hey, you could fight last night. You know, so, I mean, it made overnight almost. When the Ultimate Fighter started showing Aaron, all of a sudden people asked, it was just like within, it was May, with the first fight, or April and May, when I won the title after winning the show. After that, I mean, I couldn't go anywhere without people knowing who I was. So, yeah, it just exploded after that fight. But I always thought, again, it's the best sport in the world. So I always thought I'd get here. It got there a little faster than we thought it would.
I knew that this sport was going to blow up. That's why as soon as I graduated college, I made a promise to my mom, graduate college, as soon as I did, I was going to start fighting. It was only legal in 3 states, blacked out, you know what I mean, kept alive on the internet with the underground forum, literally, you know what I'm saying? And then you knew it was going to explode. But when Zuffa, when they came in and they bought it, I knew this was going to explode. I knew it was going to get big. And then like Chuck said, I didn't know that it would go this fast, but it was inevitable. This is the greatest sport on the planet. How could you not love it? And the UFC's a savage. I mean, it's beautiful. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I love this place. I love what they've done. But I knew once they bought this UFC and they got in Vegas, it's inevitable. So it was crazy the first time we got to go here and fight. I was like, man, you're just waiting from being in Louisiana and some of the places we had to fight old school, you know what I mean? And it was like just a reunion and everybody getting to hang out, the same fighters kind of doing their thing. And then, like I said, once we started getting there in the Ultimate Fighter, the way that it took off, you just knew that this sport was going to explode. You knew the UFC was going to be massive. And that's why I wouldn't say I gave up everything, but I gave up everything because I knew that this is what I wanted to be and what I want to be a part of for the rest of my life.
Awesome. And one more for Jens Pulver. Your entire career is a Rolodex of classic matches and fights. My favorite fight of yours is you versus Carlo Uno, but if you were going to show a casual fan one of your fights to introduce him to the sport, what fight would it be?
You know, if it was, the one thing is I would show, there's a few I would say, but obviously Uno because winning the belt, that's a big one. Alfie Alcaraz because that was the first time we both agreed to fight at 150. We were going to weigh in 155 pounds. We fought at 170, and that's even how we introduced the idea of getting ready to fight the little guys.
Alfie
You know what I'm
should have
saying?
been a 125-pounder.
Yeah, and we were little. Yeah, so we were little, and we agreed to fight. I think we agreed to fight.
He was a 118-pounder in college.
Yeah, he was at Nebraska, right?
Alfie Alcaraz.
Yeah, he wrestled in Nebraska, I think.
Oh yeah, he was a beast, man.
Yeah, and so having that fight with him because we knew that was, we're going to try to introduce this 155-pound division. So that was really cool for me. Obviously, that was a big moment, winning the belt. The fight with BJ Penn the first time was a monster because I was an 8-1 underdog. And the way that he exploded onto the scene, he was the most decorated American Jiu-Jitsu athlete ever. You know what I'm saying? And so to have him go out there and to fight him, that was another monster. Plus, it was the first time 155 pounds was the main event of a pay-per-view in UFC history. And it might have been we were pioneering another one, so that was big.
Let's go back here.
All right, question for Uriah Faber. You've achieved incredible success as a fighter, now as a coach. What would you say are your proudest accomplishments as a fighter and then as a coach?
I feel like, I get a lot of credit for, being one of the pioneers of the lighter weight divisions, but guys like Jens, Kid Yamamoto, rest in peace, he was a guy that I would always hold on a pedestal and was really a big name back then. Being someone that was able to represent my own city was really cool because, as a kid, you grow up being proud of your city and you don't really know why. It's just kind of a human instinct, territorial thing. But when it turned around and the city was so proud of me, that was a really cool accomplishment. And as a coach, I think just, and I've got a great staff and a great environment, a great culture that has been the key to bring on the next wave of talent. And so being able to create that culture that is tough, you're doing a bunch of whack job fighters, man. We're not normal people. So, creating a team environment is something I'm very proud of because it's difficult. And as you've seen, the drama is great throughout the years. It's easy to rock a boat. Keeping that boat going straight is something I'm proud of because it's a pat on the back to the people that believe in our sport and are doing things for the right reason, which is just following their passion.
All right, let's get some fan questions in. You have been waiting so patiently, so I'm going to start on this side.
This one's for Kamaru. If you don't get Hamza, are you going to fight Colby or Del Reno?
We like Kobe.
Yeah.
I think you guys would like to see Kobe too.
One more.
Gilbert's my dog, so I would fight Gilbert for the title, but if it's not for the title, I don't see why.
One more. Congrats on Jens Pulver.
Love you, buddy. Thank you.
Let's go right here to this side.
So this is for any of the fighters who are willing to answer this. So you always see when fighters walk out, you see they're in the red corner or blue corner. Is there a mentality difference between being in each corner?
No? If you come to bang, you come to bang.
All right, that's fair.
I don't ever remember which corner I was in.
I'm not too sure. I don't even know that. Corner.
Fair.
I appreciate the creativity of that question and the honesty up here. Let's go back over here.
Okay, so first of all, huge fan, guys. Thank you for all you've done for the sport. Megan, you're beautiful. I have a question. I have a question for Chuck.
Thank you.
I know you have accomplished glory in MMA, but if you had the chance to give the younger Chuck an advice, what would it be?
What I always say is go out and find a good gym and enjoy it. Go find the place where you look. I tell people, parents to look at the gym and see how good they are. I mean, get some recommendations. We get people to teach kids and make sure they're having fun. Because if you don't like it, if you don't enjoy it, you're never going to get good. You got to learn to love it. I mean, if you don't love this sport, not out there it's a tough sport to be in.
Thank you. And one for Glover. What would it mean for you to be a fighter?
I don't know. It's a dream, you know. I dreamed to be a professional athlete when I was a kid, and I was not very good in all the sports, so fighting was the only thing that become good. This guy helped me a lot, you know. He was there in my first fight. I was against them, against his team, but I got beat up so bad, and but a guy that he thought was gonna, knock me out in the first round, and he come to the locker room after and say, "Hey, come train with us, and you already got the tools, you already got the heart and determination. We teach you some stuff." And here I am, former champion. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. And last but not least, Viva Mexico!
Let's go down here.
All right, this question is for Kamaru, right over here. Kamaru, a lot of times throughout fighters' careers, they believe that they're the champion before they actually have the physical belt. You're in a unique spot because you're not the champion, you don't have the belt, but mentally, how do you kind of make that switch from being a champion and now kind of back on the hunt again?
That's a great question. I think, like I've said, it's different when you don't feel that you're the best in the division and you have work to do to get there. For me, I think the position where I was in is getting back to my routine because I still feel that way. I still feel and I know that I'm the best in the division. So it's one of those things that, you need a little bit of luck. And for me, luck is when preparation meets the opportunity. So when that opportunity comes knocking, if I'm prepared enough, I'll be where I need to be.
And for Jens and Uriah as well, being that you guys are pioneers of the lighter weight classes, yesterday Jose Aldo is inducted to the Hall of Fame. Tell me, you can't speak about featherweight, even bantamweight, any of these lighter weight classes without mentioning his name. Tell me what Jose Aldo means to you, you two.
Man, I have a lot of respect for Jose. Jose. Whenever I've had interaction with him, he's a true professional, and it takes me back to talk about staying humble. This is a sport that keeps you humble, and he stayed really humble. I think he went 12 years undefeated before he was dethroned, and so he comes from very humble beginnings, and he's a true champion, and I can still remember what it was like to have my leg disfigured, and so I'll always remember that.
I can remember it too. It looked painful.
Yeah, if you
it hurt me.
If anybody that's new, just put Uriah's leg, and you'll see it's pretty much a dead body. The biggest my leg's ever been, actually. They got little skinny legs, but he's awesome, man. I love him.
Yeah, and I mean, he was so much fun. He was devastating. Because of that, those leg kicks, you just knew. That double knee tap he did, in one fight. I still remember, I think it was in Sacramento when he and I were fighting, and they had asked, we did a big, we were doing the conversation, and we would ask questions, and they go, what about you, you know, your career? And I'm like, well, hopefully I'll be done and retired before that kid. I remember pointing right at him. I go, that guy gets up here. I didn't think he'd get up there so fast, but I was like, that guy right there, because he's going to be a devastator. And he knew it. He's just athletic, and those kicks were surreal. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch him fight. He was so explosive. He was amazing.
And my last one for Glover. Right next to you, Uriah transitioned from fighting to coaching, and he's done a great job. You have as well. Tell me, how much are you enjoying being a coach and not having to actually fight as much as you were?
Yeah, I'm getting used to it, man. You know, in the beginning, it's tough. You know, fighting is a different adrenaline. You know, in a fight, you just get ready to pump up to go over there and fight. But being in the corner is like, it's a little tough, you know. But I'm getting there, getting used to it. I'm enjoying more and getting better and better. You know, just the beginning. Thank you.
All right, we only have a few minutes, so please keep it to one question apiece. Go ahead.
My question's for Usman. Kamaru, I couldn't help but notice in the last fight against Leon, it seemed like something was a little off. The striking wasn't as sharp as usual. What felt different in there when you were facing him for the last time?
Yeah, you're right. It was just, I think I might have rushed it. Slowly just starting to get my feet underneath me, and I just felt like I needed to rush it because it was just that opportunity. I always wanted to go to London. I always wanted to fight there and headline a card there. So it was just like I probably could have taken a little bit more time to get back in prime form. But, you know, that's the way things go. You know, you live and you learn. And like I said, you know, now I'm just loving preparing myself. And so when that preparation meets the opportunity again, I'll show why I feel I'm the best in the division.
Looking forward to seeing you fight again, and congratulations to all the guys up there.
Let's go over here. Go ahead. Yep.
Oh, this question is for Faber. When is our 209 champ coming up, and who is it?
Say one more time.
Who will be our next champ out of 209?
Out of the 209, out of the greater Northern California area?
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, we got a lot coming now. And so I think right now at our gym we have Song Yadong, Macy Barber, and Yan Zanan all knocking on the door. So those are people that I think are on the cusp. But I've got a whole bunch of up-and-comers you haven't heard of that will be there soon. So check out A1 Combat and keep your eye out, baby. That's right. I like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Thanks, buddy.
The 916, the 209's cousin.
That's right.
Yes.
We got 916-530-209. That's all the same shit.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go over here.
It's me. Hey, this is for the...
Whoa, Chris Curtis.
Yeah,
All right.
what's up, guys?
All right, we're jumping in.
Hey.
All right. We'll get to you. Don't worry.
I've got a question for the legends, Jen Pulver. I don't think everyone here quite knows just how legendary your career's been, but I'm going to test your brain for a second. June 27, 2009, I had my pro debut. In that fight, I lost a decision that I very clearly won, and it was heartbreaking to me. It was bad, guys. It was heartbreaking to me, though. And the first guy in that cage was Jens Pulver, and he said, hey, man, this is going to happen. Don't stop. Keep going. That was in 2009, and those were the words that I heard from you. The first words I heard after I lost my debut. And I grew up following Militich, following Robbie Lawler was my guy, but out of that gym, the other legend in my eyes was Jen Pulver. So my question to you is, do you understand how much of a legend you are to us that came up under you, and that we know that we're here now, especially the smaller guys, because we stood on the shoulders of giants. So thank you.
All right, number one, you're going to make me cry. I love and appreciate you. You're going to make me cry. You know, the reality is, no, I didn't. For a long time, I didn't. I didn't think anything. I didn't think I was worth much. I didn't feel like I had value. And I'm going to make this plug because it means the world to me, but running the UFC Twitch page now has given me value and worth because you all come in that do come in, and if you don't, join. But in the chat, you give me your time. The greatest gift on the planet. Money can't buy it. We always wish we had more time. And the fact that you're in here giving us your time is the greatest thing in the world. And it started making me whole again. Being able to sit there and talk with everybody I started to rebuild myself, and I felt good. And that's why I love when people say it's about time that you got into UFC, but the reality is, and I thank you all so much for keeping my name out there and and keeping it relevant, but it was today, this is the perfect time, because I finally have learned that what I've done, and I can accept it because I love my life. I love where I'm at in life. And like I said, it's just been a blast. But hearing things like that, yeah, man, it's amazing. And I love y'all, and I
Thank
can't
you,
thank
James
you enough.
Pulver.
It means the world. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. All right, I think we have time for one or two more, and I definitely want to get to you, so go ahead.
Okay. First of all, shout out to the 6 GOATs on the dais. Thank you so much for being here. All of you guys are GOATs in your respective field. So my question is, we're celebrating 30 years of UFC, which in a lot of ways is 30 years of MMA in America. A lot of landmark events that occurred, UFC 1, Aldo versus Faber, Chuck versus Tito, UFC 205 in New York. For any or all of the panel, is there a specific landmark event in your mind that you think of, this is the staying power of MMA? This event shows that MMA is forever and will be here forever. Thank you all.
For me, the one that stands out, and I mean, it was relevant when I first started, was the Chuck Liddell, Randy Couture era. I mean, both guys college wrestlers, both guys that were nasty strikers and really mixed it well together, and some star power. You know, had Chuck, the silent killer, and Randy was a gentleman. It was a nice contrast between two classy guys with different looks, and you got to see how the UFC embraced that. I mean, Chuck had mohawk and hair just in the middle, and Randy had a cul-de-sac with no hair in the middle. What a great combination. And I always looked up to both those guys.
I love it. All right, let's go to our final question. No pressure, but make it a good one.
All right, question for Kamaru. Having shared the octagon multiple times with both Leon and Colby, who do you think gets the edge in that match?
That's a tough one. I would have to say, dang, it's a good position to be. Now, it's different mentally thinking about it, because when I fight, I'm more of so mental fighter as opposed to just the physical attributes, because some guys are just sharper and nicer strikers, and some guys are more of a grinder like Colby. So playing by their hearts, I think if Colby is able to come in and compete the way that he approached competing with me, it's going to be very difficult to beat him. I think he's very talented, but Leon is a dangerous striker, so you never know.
Thank you all for your questions. Thank you to this incredible panel of legends. And thank you to all the fans who continue to support this sport. We couldn't be anywhere without you. You let them perform. You let us do our jobs. You let weeks like this happen. It is the 30th anniversary of the UFC, and we would be nowhere without fans like you and legends like this. Give it up one more time. Jens Pulver, Uriah Faber, Glover Teixeira, Chuck Liddell, and Kamaru Usman. UFC 290 weigh-ins will kick off in just a few minutes.
This is not a rapper, I'm slinking. Go move. This is cold a second, plenty cognac and major pain. Not the drill sergeant, but the stress that weighing on your brain. It was me.
Now you gotta put more on the tip jar. Hey guys, can we go up this way? We go up this way.
My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, you know, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of. My hometown has definitely shaped me to who I am today. There's so many situations where I've been undersized, didn't stand a chance. I believed in myself. I did that back when I was playing rugby league. I was the smallest guy on the field playing the biggest position. I was a big underdog and people thought I didn't stand a chance. The bravery, the commitment, you know, the work ethic, I've been doing that my whole life. Again, I've always been undersized. I love being in them positions because I love being able to really show myself and show people what I'm capable of.